Hello everyone and welcome back to Tea Time Crochet. Today we're going to be making this baby cocoon. I'm going to say that it's 0 to 3 months. That may vary between individual babies. Certain babies may be able to use it longer, but as a safe bet, I'm just going to say 0 to 3 months. Since I don't have a baby to measure it against, I've just kind of gone off of basic estimates of sizing and whatnot. So all babies are different. Keep that in mind. But this should fit any baby 0 to 3 months. Like I said, some babies that may be able to use it longer. So what it is we've started off down here with a circle, and we just increased like we do with a hat. And I believe it's a total of 6 rounds of increases, and then we just work the rest of the cocoon in just 1 double crochet in every stitch until we get up to this ribbing portion, which I kind of wanted to cinch it in a little bit. So that is the same number of stitches. The only thing we're doing is adding the ribbing in. So with this one, I decided to go with this blue and this variegated green and blue, and they are both Red Heart Super Savers. The blue is the color Pool, and the variegated is Banana Berry. But I thought that they would be appropriate for boys, so I decided to go ahead and go with these colors, and I did have them on hand. This is what I have left. This was a full skein, and this was a partial skein. I've used it, I want to say, on 2 other projects, this blue hats, so I probably had over half a skein there. So this is what I have left. I got 2 skeins of the color that I'm going to use today just in case, but I'll let you know exactly how much I have left at the end of the video. And before anybody says that Red Heart's not appropriate for babies, Red Heart is fine. All you gotta do is make sure that you wash it and dry it first, and then it'll soften it up. You can totally use Red Heart for baby items, as long as you do wash it and dry it, because that's what's gonna make it nice and soft. And you can also try and soften it with conditioner if you would like. I personally find that just throwing it in the washer and the dryer does the trick, but if you're really worried about it, you can. Okay, so what I've done on this one is I've changed colors every 3 rows. So this blue section is 3 rows, this variegated section is 3 rows, and I've done that all the way throughout the whole thing. Other than that, it's pretty, a basic pattern. So what we're going to do, or what color we're going to use today, is this pink. Like I said, I wanted to do something for a boy, and then something for a girl. I'm not going to stripe this one today, but I did just tell you what my patterning for the striping was. And it's basic changing of color. I've done that before in past videos, so there's nothing really special about it, other than the fact that my striping was every 3 rows, which worked out really well for this pattern. I think if you tried to stripe it any other way, you would have to work it out with the number of rows that I have. So, like I said, this one's Petal Pink, and it's just a really pale pink, beautiful color for, a baby girl. You're going to need a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, pair of scissors, and a yarn needle with a large eye. And I'm going to just start off by saying I'm sorry about that noise. It never fails whenever I come out here to film that somebody is outside doing something in my neighborhood. That's my crazy neighbor. She's been sanding like crazy for weeks now. I don't know what the heck she's doing over there, but never fails. I come out here, it's completely quiet, and now there's a bunch of noise. So I apologize for that, but I got to work through it. We do have some other things going on this week, so I really have to film right now. So to start off with, we're going to start off with a slip knot. So we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. You can use a magic circle here, but I find that my magic circles always come undone, so I always like to chain 3. I don't find that magic circle, for me, is very secure. It never fails. So I always chain 3. And then we're going to chain 1, and as usual, that chain 1, we are just going to pretend that it doesn't even exist. I'm not going to say that through every round. I know I've been saying that a lot lately, because sometimes I think people get confused that the chain 1 is a stitch, and it's not. It's just to get us a little bit higher. That way we can do our double crochet, which makes a nicer seam. And that's the whole purpose of doing it this way, is just to make the seam a lot nicer than what it normally would be. The gap's not as big, and it just looks neater. So remember, the chain 1 at the beginning of a row doesn't exist. We're only doing it to get to the height that we need to be for our double crochets. So we're going to put 12 double crochets into that ring. So I'm just going to go back and count real quick. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12. And we're just going to slip stitch to join to the top of this double crochet. And pull that center tight, and that will close up the hole. So we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to go back into that beginning stitch with a double crochet, and then we're going to put 1 more double crochet into that stitch, and then we're going to put 2 double crochets into every stitch around. So go ahead and do that, and I will catch up with you on my last stitch. Okay, so I'm on my last stitch. I have my 2 double crochets in it, and I am going to slip stitch to join in the top of that first double crochet. So that ends round 2. For round 3, we're going to chain 1. We're going to put 1 double crochet into that beginning stitch. And in the next stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets. And that is our repeat for this round. So in the next stitch would be 1 double crochet. And in the next stitch would be 2 double crochets for an increase. So go ahead and repeat that all the way around, and I will meet up with you when I am on my last stitch. Okay, so I finished my row, and I ended with an increase. So I'm going to slip stitch to join in the beginning double crochet. So for round 4, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to put 1 double crochet into that beginning stitch, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and 2 double crochets in the next. And that is our repeat for this round. So once again, that's 1 double crochet, and then 1 double crochet in the next, and then 2 double crochets in the next. So go ahead and repeat that all the way around, and I will meet up with you when I'm on my last stitch. Okay, so I finished that round. You should end with an increase. I'm going to slip stitch to join into this beginning double crochet. So we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to go back into that beginning stitch with a double crochet. In the next stitch, 1 double crochet, and in the next stitch, 1 double crochet. And in the next stitch, we're going to put 2 double crochets. So that is your repeat for this round. So once again, 1 double crochet in the next, 1 double crochet in the next, 1 double crochet in the next, and then 2 in the next. So go ahead and finish out the round, and I will meet up with you when I am on my last stitch. Okay, so you should end on an increase. We're going to slip stitch to join to that beginning double crochet, and whoops, and row 6, which is the next row, is our last increase row. So we're going to chain 1, and we're going to put 1 double crochet into that beginning stitch, and then we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next stitch, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 in the next stitch. So that's that's 4 double crochets and then the increase. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then our increase. And that is the repeat for this round. Go ahead and do that, and I will meet up with you when I am on my last stitch. Okay, I finished out mine. How we end this is going to be a little bit different than the pattern. So in order to get the number for our ribbing at the very end, we need to set up that number of stitches now. So here is my increase right here. So there's only going to be 3 single for the last section. Let's see, that's for the last 5 stitches. So 5 stitches away from the end is going to be an increase. Then we're going to put 1 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, and then in the last stitch we're going to put 2 double crochets. So our pattern's just a little bit off, but we need that for our multiples of 2 for our ribbing later. So it's easier just to do it right now, so that way we don't have to worry about increasing later. Our count is on right now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to slip stitch to join to the beginning double crochet, and it has started pouring out, so I'm sure you can probably hear that. It's probably going to get loud. So from here on out, we're just going to put 1 double crochet in every stitch around, slip stitch to join to the beginning, and just repeat that until we have a total of 25 rows. That's counting this 6. So for the next row is the row we're going to repeat. We're going to chain 1. We're going to go back into that beginning stitch with a double crochet, and we're going to put 1 double crochet in every stitch around. So go ahead and do that. When you get to your last stitch, you're going to slip stitch to join to the beginning double crochet just like we've been doing, and then you're going to repeat it over and over again until you have a total of 25 rows. Let me double check my pattern. Yes, a total of 25 rows. And then we will do the last 3 rows of our ribbing, and then we will be done. So go ahead and repeat that for a total of 25 rows, and then I will meet up with you there. Okay, so I finished all of my 25 rows, and now we're going to work on the ribbing portion. So we have 3 rows of ribbing. If you want to, you could change to a smaller hook here. Probably one size smaller will bring this in a little bit snugger. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and keep the same hook. But you can definitely change to a smaller hook to make this a little bit tighter at the top. But for me, I'm just going to go ahead and go with what I got already. So I'm going to chain 1. And for my ribbing, I like to do a regular double crochet and then a front post double crochet in the next stitch. And for ribbing, you need a multiple of 2. So that's why we increased 1 stitch at the beginning of our section down here before we got to all of this. But you could choose any ribbing that you like, but this is just my preferred ribbing. So for the ribbing that I'm going to do, I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to go back into that beginning stitch with a double crochet, and then in the next stitch I'm going to go and do a front post double crochet, and then in the next stitch I'm going to put a regular double crochet, and then in the next stitch a front post double crochet, and that is our repeat for this round and 2 more rounds. So so I'm going to go ahead and do I'm going to finish out this round, and as usual, when you get back here, you're going to slip stitch to join here, and then you're going to start the next 2 rounds the same way that we just started this. So go ahead and finish the total of 3 rounds, and then I will meet up with you then. Okay, so I finished my 3 rows of ribbing, and I'm going to just slip stitch to join into this beginning double crochet, and then I'm just going to fasten off. I'm going to leave myself a decent sized tail, because with baby stuff you want to make sure it's really secure. All your tails are really secure. So I highly doubt I'll be able to get it all in the camera, but this is what it looks like. I think it would be really cute if you did a really big flower and put on it, since this one's just kind of plain. Or you can do like I did with the other one and stripe it and do some really fun colors. Another thing would be really nice if you're going to get it as like a baby gift is to make the matching hat. And I will leave the link to my 0 to 3 month basic hat pattern in the description bar below. So I used less than a skein. So if you did the cocoon and a matching hat, you would probably still have a little bit left over. So, you know, and it works up really quickly. And I think, you know, if you need to make it a little bit longer, do it in this section right here where you're just repeating 1 double crochet in every stitch around. Just do more rows of it. I mean, it's completely adjustable. If you do need to make it a little bit, you know, bigger around, then just add 1 more increase row. Although if you add 1 more increase row, you'll probably want to do a couple more rows of this section. So now all you need to do is just hide your tails and you're done. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.